So 3 DRS zones between turn 15 and turn 1, between turn 3 and turn 4, and between turn 10 and turn 11. The starting grid for today, we're going to get at the back the 2 Alpines, Pierre Gasly and Esteban Ocon in 20th and 19th place. And we got Logan Sargent in P18, Zhou Guanyu in 17th place with the Sauber. P16 is going to be for Valtteri Bottas, his teammate, with Kevin Magnussen in 15th place for Haas up ahead. In 14th, we have Daniel Ricciardo starting alongside Alexander Albon on the Williams. 13th place for the Thai driver, 12th for Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin alongside Yuki Tsunoda in 11th place. The Japanese driver will be starting just outside the top 10, but inside the top 10 we have the Haas of Nico Hülkenberg, the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton, who just couldn't get the setups done in right, Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris, who had kind of iffy qualifying laps yesterday. P6 for Fernando Alonso in Aston Martin, right behind Sergio Perez's Red Bull. In 5th place, P4 for Carlos Sainz, who will be starting on the second row alongside George Russell. And for the front row, we have Leclerc and Max Verstappen. Seems like Ferrari and Red Bull are going to be contending for the win on this track, at least from what we've seen now. Mercedes are a bit of an offshoot, let's call it. A far-fetched chance, but could still happen. And then, yeah, the same for the guys behind, maybe Aston Martin, maybe McLaren, but the ones to look out for are Max Verstappen, actually, and the Ferraris. I hope I can see a Honda Civic Type R, says Chase Lay. I think you're watching the wrong series, dude. Wait, the race is right now. Yes, the race is right now. It's Ramadan, which means on Sunday we don't get no racing. That's pretty much all you need to know. Yeah, we're racing on Saturday. This is the actual race. Qualifying was yesterday. And what tires are they on? I don't yet know, but I'll tell you as soon as I do know. Yeah, tire blankets are still on. No info in the graphs. Yep, as soon as I know, I'll let you guys know. It's gonna be, yeah, it's 18 degrees air temperature, pretty chilly. Track temperature of 24 degrees, so it's pretty cold actually there on the track. That's gonna be super important to get the tires up to speed, and up to temperature, of course. It seems that we have softs on most of the top 10. Yeah. Okay, formation lap will be underway any second now, and then I'll be able to tell you with more certainty. But yeah, the WEC is also going on right now. I was able to watch the first few hours, and then the stream I was using cut off, so I wasn't able to follow. Right on time, the Pian. Hello, buddy. Good to know you're here. Thank you so much for your donation. Right on time indeed. The formation lap is just underway as you send that message, and literally everyone is on the soft tire. So if you were wondering, literally everyone is on the soft, using C3s. Yeah, thank you, Depian, for your donation. It's really appreciated. I'm here because I can't afford F1 TV. Well, welcome. So, possible race strategies. It's probably going to be a 2-stop split between the soft, the hard, and the soft, or the soft, the hard, and the hard. First stop is predicted from lap 14 to lap 18. And yeah, then it's probably a hard tire stint unless there's a safety car impeding that along the way. Are you going to do Crofty level commentary, please? Well, I don't know if that's a benchmark, but I'll try to do my very best. It's the fourth season that I've been doing live commentary. So let's hope I don't disappoint. I'm actually quite excited. Qualifying is always a blast to commentate on, and yesterday I thought went pretty well. So yeah, today is the race. What a race, huh? Leclerc, it's the formation lap. What are we racing in? Monaco? You have no live footage, right? Nope, we don't. That's illegal. So no, we don't. me put on my watch. Actually, I usually like to wear my watch during the races. I don't know. Kind of a habit I've developed. So I just like to do that. Alpine no longer got el plan. Oh, this was the plan all along. This was the plan all along. Everyone on softs? Yes, Lucas, everyone on soft. Thus, after one lap, the DRS rule in Naval has been implemented. Okay, that was a complicated sentence there to read out. I think it's gonna be after lap 2 instead of lap 3 now. It's one lap earlier, not after one lap. As everyone is starting to come into view there, Gasly's just finishing turn 14. Well, starting actually turn 14, as Verstappen is the first driver to line up on his grid slot in his RV20 there, side by side. Well, actually a little bit in front. That's obvious. Of Charles Leclerc, George Russell, Carlos Sainz right behind, and it's Perez and Alonso in the third row. Norris, Piastri, Hamilton, Hülkenberg, Tsunoda, Stroll. I'm always getting a little bit nervous before the start of the race. Anxiety levels are a little bit up. Adrenaline starts rushing. Yeah. Okay. That's the Alpines lining up at the back of the grid right now. Let's go. So racing as usual for Ocon. Luckily, he won't encounter anyone this race, so he won't be doing any sort of attempted murder. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And we are racing for the first race of the 2024 season. It's a clean getaway from Max Verstappen, who's immediately ahead of Charles Leclerc. It's a lot of shuffling as Leclerc tries to go around the outside into turn 1. They go side by side, but I think Max Verstappen has... Oh, there's a bit of braking having to do with Sergio Perez at the back, who loses position. There's a yellow flag, and that's Lance Stroll looking on the wrong side. That's yellow flag on the first sector. Stroll has lost a lot of track position there. He's at the back of the grid. There's a little bit of smoke coming out of the back of one of the Sauvers. I think that's Valtteri Bottas who tangled with Stroll. We'll have to see about the replay on that. But as of now, we have Max Verstappen leading from Leclerc, Russell. Then it's Sergio Perez, Carlos Sainz, Fernando Alonso. Then it's Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri, Lewis Hamilton in 9th place. Yuki Tsunoda up into 10th. That's Nico Hülkenberg dropping all the way down to 18th place already. A yellow flag on the first sector as Hülkenberg says, I've got front wing damage. That's probably what caused a yellow flag on the first sector. There's some debris being cleared out by one of the marshals there into turn 1 or into turn 2. The Max Verstappen still leading from Charles Leclerc. He's probably gonna be coming in. Nico Hülkenberg on this first lap. That's very unfortunate for the Haas team, but still 1 second now the gap between Verstappen and Charles Leclerc. Almost 2 seconds to Russell. Then it's Perez, Sainz, Alonso, Norris, Piastri, Hamilton. Tsunoda rounding out the top 10. Tsunoda made up a place from the start there. Sainz and Perez made 1 as well. Alonso stays in his spot. So does Norris, so does Piastri, so does Hamilton. So a bit of an eventful start for the guys at the back. There's been a bit of position shuffling there as Logan Sargent and Ocon and Gasly all made up 3 places. Stroll lost 7. Hülkenberg lost 10. DRS has now been enabled. Okay, so it is enabled in lap 1, not after 1 lap. I was confused about that, but that's the Toro Rosso defending from the Williams of Logan Sargent. Their that's actually Alex Albon. Yuki Tsunoda defending from Albon for P10 and P11. Logan Sargent is battling right there with Daniel Ricciardo as well, as we are seeing them swap positions. Sargent now ahead of Ricciardo, up into 14th place for the US driver. Nico Hülkenberg is who we're looking at right now as he fits on the hard and is going out of the pits with a new front wing there. He is the first driver to pit after that contact on lap 1 that we're going to have to see what actually happened. He is now coming out into turn 1 as all the drivers are, pretty much finishing the second sector. DRS is open. Alonso is in a bit of a dangerous spot right now. 2 McLarens, 1 Mercedes on the back of him. As he goes into turn 13, I don't think he has the same pace right now as the guys in front. Perez, Russell, Verstappen, Sainz, and Leclerc. What happened to Hülkenberg? We'll have to see on the replay. He was involved in some sort of contact, presumably with Stroll and Bottas. DRS is enabled, yes. DRS is enabled and open there. Race control turn incident, turn 1 incident involving cars. Stroll and Hülkenberg involved, noted for causing a collision, as that's Alonso losing 1 place already. Oh, maybe two, as one of the McLarens goes round the outside. Alonso tries to hold on to that position. Norris makes a move, as that is Leclerc getting overtaken by George Russell. Russell up into 2nd place right now with his Mercedes, making his way through past the Ferrari of the Monegasque driver. Perez right now is looking to attack as well. The Ferrari doesn't seem to have the... Oh, a bit of a lockup there for Leclerc on the inside tires. That puts a little bit more pressure on him as Sergio Perez can make some leeway. Fastest lap now is being held by Max Verstappen. That's no surprise there. 2 seconds is the gap between the leader and P2 on this race after just 3 laps of racing. Nico Hülkenberg is going through turn 4 as the drivers are starting the 3rd sector right now. He's 36 seconds behind Lance Stroll's Aston Martin right now. Norris, yeah, Alonso's holding on to Norris's DRS as they come through 14 and into the start-finish straight. The battle for 2nd rages on as Russell, Leclerc, and Perez are battling it out there into turn 1. DRS open for Leclerc, for Perez, which is going to be a good defensive move for the Ferrari driver. DRS open also for Alonso, also for Hamilton. There's a bit of a gap there, but no one seems to have taken it. It's just too narrow. Yeah, everyone's super close from Norris all the way down to Stroll. With a bit of a gap starting to develop between Hamilton and Tsunoda. Actually, that's almost DRS lost for the Japanese driver. Once that happens, I reckon we will start to see a bit of a separation of the pack. Now let's see a replay of turn 1, lap 1. What actually happened there? That's the Toro Rosso falling back as the Sauber of Bottas, I think, tries going round the inside of a few cars. Oh, yeah, no. Okay, so that's Nico Hülkenberg just clipping the Aston Martin there, causing it to spin, and Bottas had to just stop because the car in front of him stopped. Let's see, right on board with Lance Stroll as we go into turn 1. Good braking. He was just, going around the corner and he got spun. I don't think Stroll has much to do with that incident. Let's see now from Nico Hülkenberg's point of view. What happened there? He goes around the inside of the inside. Yeah, they tried going 3 wide and just his front wing clipped him. I think that was a bit, that was reaching a little bit for Nico Hülkenberg. He definitely did not have to do that. Also, he had Bottas on his rearview mirror. He was more looking at that than not the guys in front. Bottas also gave him a little bit of a nudge. That's also something that happened there. That's why he lost some places as well. May have some front wing damage, a little bit, just a little bit, but we don't yet know. Doesn't seem to be affecting him though. I would actually blame Hülkenberg for that. Bit of damage, as Piastri we didn't see, but Piastri overtook Alonso, who seems to be falling behind a little bit now. Yeah, Hamilton's looking to overtake now as well. Norris and Piastri up into 6th and 7th respectively. The fairy tale is over, guys. The fairy tale is over. Yeah, 4 seconds between Verstappen and Russell is a big gap. Is a very big gap. Leclerc, team radio, track limits for Russell. Okay, so Russell, 5 laps in, he's already been warned for track limits. That means, Stroll has just been overtaken by Bottas. Stroll has re-overtaken Bottas. They are 2 seconds behind the rest of the pack. It's not good, but yeah, Russell, as I said, 5 laps in, 6 now, has already got the warning for track limits. That means he's been exceeding them a few times, and well, the next one's going to be a 5-second penalty. Kind of like, what Ocon does. Yeah, the McLarens are a little bit ahead now of the rest of the pack. Norris is making some headway into the guys in front. Alonso still holding on to the DRS from Oscar Piastri as he's got a Hamilton on the offense on the back of him. Yes, this is the move we missed because we're looking at the replay of Alonso being overtaken by Oscar Piastri right there around the inside into turn 1. That was a clean, easy move by the McLaren driver. Alonso now still holding on to the DRS as we look forward a little bit to Sergio Perez, who's now not at the back of the train. Now Carlos Sainz has actually joined there. So it's Carlos Sainz, Perez, Leclerc, and Russell, all within DRS of each other, trying to battle for that second place and, well, perhaps even get closer to Verstappen. Norris getting told we are going plan B. That was Norris on the radio, going plan B. I don't know what that means. Probably extending the stint, perhaps. I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, Russell's pulling away a little bit, actually. Yeah, Perez and Sainz are much closer to Leclerc than Leclerc is to Russell. As everyone with DRS goes into turn 1, and there's where the gaps shrink. That's not going to be enough, of course, to prompt any sort of move there. As the gaps are being widened at the middle of the pack. As I said, Tsunoda, Albon over DRS. Magnussen getting close to Albon, actually. Magnussen within 1/10 of a second. Well, now just under a second of Alex Albon. He seems like he's able to fight. That also, I have more pace than the guys in front, Carlos Sainz says, and he gets told, okay, good to know. But yeah, the Sauber is battling with the Haas. That's Zhou and Magnussen in the battle for 12th place. That's surprisingly good for the Haas as of now. We'll have to see if he continues to sink or if he can hold on to that position. As we're looking at Sergio Perez overtaking Charles Leclerc. He's in front with DRS. Everyone with DRS. Sergio goes round the inside into 11 and is up into 3rd place and into the podium. Charles Leclerc is in P4 right now. Carlos Sainz down in 5th. Yeah, so Max Verstappen is still holding on to that fastest lap, and now Sergio Perez is starting to chase George Russell. The Ferraris are now going to be battling each other. Carlos Sainz is confident that he has more pace. Let's see if team orders come into play or if Leclerc just, gets de facto front place like we sometimes see here. DRS open for Carlos Sainz. Let's see. Sergio Perez goes defensive into turn 1. As everyone's attacking there. Leclerc, Carlos Sainz, it's all super close at the front. Lando Norris. Zhou finally gets past Kevin Magnussen and is up into 12th with the Sauber. Let's see. 0.2 of a second, 0.5 of a second. That's the gap between 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So a second and a half splits 3 drivers right there. Another lockup by Leclerc. That's what actually happened. That's how Perez was able to get the move done. A lockup out of 10. So yeah, a little bit tricky to drive that Ferrari, at least for Leclerc. From what we've seen so far. I'm already hearing the Dutch anthem, says Andre Alfonso. Yeah, me too. Leclerc is struggling on his brakes. Yeah, struggling with the brakes, struggling with the pace there as Carlos Sainz gets ever closer to his teammate as they go through the turn 13 DRS zone right now. Everyone's flaps are starting to open. As right now, Alonso still holding on just barely to DRS from Oscar Piastri. Is that going to be the flap open or is that going to be... I don't think it is. I don't think it is, and I may think, guys, that a Mercedes overtake may be imminent. May be imminent. Let's see, DRS for both of the Ferraris. As we're looking at Alonso, we're looking at Hamilton. Alonso defends from Hamilton into turn one, just keeps it in front. As we're looking at Carlos Sainz now attacking his teammate into four. But there's not enough of a gap there for them to make the move. George Russell 6.7 seconds now behind Max Verstappen, the leader. Russell is in P2. Leclerc, we are going plan A. He gets told a little bit of a lockup from Carlos Sainz as well there as they go through 8 and into 9 into the second DRS zone right now. Yeah, the magic between those two is still going on as Leclerc kind of loses touch a little bit with Sergio Perez. Yeah, he's not going to have DRS anymore after this zone. That may be a problem for the Monegasque driver as he looks to push for the podium but seems to have to defend from the back first. Is it worth buying an F1 Live subscription? F1 TV Pro is what I have. F1 Live. I don't know what it is. I think you're talking about the F1 Access on the app. That's just with an F1 account, so that's free. The P11s, let's go to Tsunoda. Tsunoda P10 right now in a bit of a no man's land as Hamilton now attacking Alonso round the inside. That was a move bound to happen. The Aston Martin just doesn't seem to have as much pace as the front runners as of now. P9 for him as he gets the DRS and tries to attack once again, tries to get that position back into 4. That's just not enough of a gap, but we may actually see Alonso defending himself from this one, going into 11. Let's see if the gap is still there. Yellow flag on the first sector, as that is Logan Sargent stopping. So Stroll comes into the pits. Super early stop, and that's our first retirement of the season. What happened there? It doesn't seem to be contact, perhaps a mechanical problem. Williams were struggling with reliability. Radio? Yeah, they were struggling with reliability through preseason testing. So Sargent now was looking quite good actually. Quite close to the points. A decent finish could have happened, but yeah, he's out of the race. We got a yellow flag on the first sector, and unless he can get that car going again, which he did, we're gonna get a safety car, but I don't think we are. We may, be under green flag racing. So I don't know what happened there. I don't know if the car turned off, if he's gonna retire, if he's gonna continue going. Let's see the two Ferraris going side by side. Oh my god, that's Carlos Sainz going around the inside. Go so close racing, pushing him a little bit wide, but not enough to push him off the track. That's a great overtake by Leclerc by Carlos Sainz into turn 1 to gain that position up into 4th place for the Spanish driver in a brilliant move as Ocon pits. Damn. That was a good move. That was a proper overtake. That wasn't team orders or nothing. That was a proper overtake as Ocon is coming out of the pits ahead of Hülkenberg. But behind Lance Stroll, I don't know what's going on there. Joe, Stroll, Ocon, and Hülkenberg are on the hards already. So they're gonna have to extend a little bit that stint on the hards because it's a little bit earlier before the pit window opened. Alonso still holding on to that DRS. Nope, doesn't look like it anymore. Oh, well, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see through the second sector if you can keep it there. Can we give the 2024 championship to Max already? Yeah, I've already kind of given it to him from testing even. But yeah, this is officially over. But still, we got some action at the back. A little bit, at least. But yeah, Sainz is starting to pull a bit of a gap from his teammate, a second and a half. Oh no, Leclerc and Russell both come into the pits. As we're looking at a replay of Logan Sargent, Leclerc and Russell both go into the pits. Russell goes for the hards. So does Leclerc. A bit of a covering move there. Sargent coming out of the pits now with a set of hard tires. I don't really know what actually happened with Logan. I was too busy looking at the timing screen, so I missed it. Oh, he locked up. Really? Seems to have a brake issue. Yeah, that seems more plausible because just locking up wouldn't cause someone to stop like that. Oh, that's a weird front wing end plate on the Sauber. It's kind of come off, but still, that Sauber's fighting with Russell. That's that's Valtteri Bottas. That's a bit of contact, a bit of damage from the contact from lap 1, I would assume. One of the end plates of the front wing is a little bit flappy, but nothing dangerous. If it hasn't come off in 12 laps, I don't think that's gonna be warranting a meatball flag. But still, that's gotta be messing with the airflow on the rest of the car. I reckon when they come in for a pit stop, they're either gonna change that front wing or they're gonna rip that part off, whichever is quickest. 10 seconds, yes, 10 seconds from Verstappen to Leclerc. That's P1 to P2. Remember, neither of them have stopped. Russell had effective P2, but as pitted right now. Let's see Sergio Perez. If Sergio Perez comes in, let's see if Russell can keep that second place, or if he's been taken away, as Piastri and Hamilton also come in. Alonso staying out, a little bit extending, trying to see if an overcut maybe a little bit faster. They are hoping that the front runners are stuck in some traffic as Tsunoda, Albon, and Ricciardo also stay out. They are now coming out behind Ricciardo. So Russell, Perez, Leclerc, Piastri, Hamilton are all right there. Russell has not lost track position to Sergio Perez, as Gasly and Bottas both come into the pits. Looks like Red Bull are going for the 1-2 for the two stopper. Yeah, looks like pretty much everyone's gonna go for the two stopper. If you start on the softs, it's pretty hard to make it with the hards. I mean, if it were to be a one stop, it should have been a mediums to hards kind of deal. Oh god damn, that's Leclerc going really wide once again. Russell is now looking to overtake Ricciardo. Just not happening. Norris being told to box. Norris coming in. Let's see if he can come out ahead of the Toro Rosso right there. I almost called him AlphaTauri. Russell goes side by side and gets past the Toro Rosso as they go. Where are they? Oh, as they go, yeah, into the start-finish straight. Okay, Norris coming in, Ricciardo coming in as well. So that's the rest of the pack being left out to continue racing. The gap for the two stop from the mediums to the hards from the softs to the hards to the softs is now open. Anything more than this is just extending. Ferrari coming in, box, as we're now looking at Sergio Perez battling for that second position effective with Russell side by side. Sergio goes around the inside and he manages to get it done. He manages to get past George Russell, get up into 6th place, and that's effectively second position there. So far, it looks like a 1-2 for Red Bull. Yeah, so Russell with a bad entry to that corner. Bit of understeer. That was all Checo needed to make the move and get past. As we're looking at Carlos Sainz, who's yet to come in. Let's see, Alonso, Tsunoda, Albon, and Sargent. Oh, Sargent has pitted. Sargent's being lapped right now. Damn. Carlos Sainz comes in, Alonso stays out, Tsunoda stays out, Albon stays out. Let's see, a clean stop from the Ferrari pit crew as Carlos Sainz fits a new set of hard tires. And where is he gonna come out? Let's see, Carlos Sainz is behind his teammate there, seems, at least for now. Oh, it's super close. Crucially, he is ahead of the Williams. He comes out. Yuki Tsunoda comes into the pits. He comes out, Carlos Sainz. I just cannot get out of front locking everywhere, Leclerc says. Yeah, we can see that. We can see that. P7, yes, I was saying, crucially ahead of the Williams, but that was actually Sargent, which is lapped, so that wouldn't have been a problem. We're already getting lapped cars. Stroll gets up into 12th place as Yuki Tsunoda comes out in 13th from the pits. Seeing that gap, to think people thought Lewis had a chance after FP2. If anyone's winning, it's not gonna be Hamilton. I mean, yeah, sorry guys. But yeah, Verstappen hasn't pitted, Alonso hasn't pitted, and Albon hasn't pitted. Everyone else has already come in. Maybe they're, extending a little bit, seeing if they can get a safety car or something. Perez now holds the fastest lap. Alonso being told to come in now. He's in. Albon does so as well. So the only driver yet to come in is Max Verstappen. Let's see. It's an iffy stop from Aston Martin, but decently clean. New set of hard tires. So does Williams. I couldn't actually see the end of that stop, but Alonso seems to be coming out in P9 ahead of Zhou. Oh, behind Zhou actually. So he lost a place there with that stop. He is 6/10 of a second behind the Sauber and right ahead of his teammate. So seems like the undercut was the move here. The undercut made by Stroll, by Magnussen, by Ocon, who actually seemed to work. They are all pushed a little bit forward, and Zhou as well. Zhou also did the undercut, but they're gonna have to do some tire wear, controlling towards the end of the race if they are opting for the hard soft. From the soft hard soft strategy, as Carlos Sainz now goes to try and overtake once again his teammate, tries looking around the inside. There's just not enough of a spot right now. As they go through 13, they are getting both super close to Russell, but super close to each other as well. Right now, Leclerc can defend with the DRS from Carlos Sainz as they come through and into the final few corners of the track. 30 seconds in 17 laps. Remember, Verstappen hasn't stopped yet. So the DRS for Carlos Sainz, the slipstream, as they go into turn 1. That's the big breaking point where Charles may struggle with his lack of confidence, and he does, and that's Carlos Sainz up ahead. And up into 4th place for the second time ahead of his teammate right now, as he makes the move, and it's the front Ferrari as Verstappen is being told to box. Finally, he's coming in, the last driver to do so. Yeah, everyone's done at least a stop. Even Nico Hulkenberg, who did it on lap 1, he's been running those hards now for 16 laps. As we are, that's Alonso getting past Zhou and Yu. As we are approaching lap 18, that's Albon ahead of Ocon. Yeah, the Alpines go into the back right now as Verstappen comes into the pits. Let's see, that stop comes in, clean stop. Oof, the right rear, yeah, took 3/4 tenths of a second more than it should have. but it's still a decent stop, and of course he's gonna come out ahead. He had a 2.9 second stop. Leclerc team radio. My car is fully going to the right when I'm braking. Okay, we are we are checking. Like this, I cannot fight. It's fucking dangerous, he says Leclerc right now. So that's Carlos Sainz looking to attack on the outside of the Mercedes of George Russell. That's the pace of the Ferrari, who looks to be going much faster. DRS open as he is now in front. He gets past into turn 4 and Carlos Sainz is into the podium. He was on the pace all weekend long, and it's good to see he's got the car underneath him to fight for what's worth. Fastest lap as well for Carlos Sainz right now as he gets into P3. Yeah, Leclerc's still struggling with those brakes. He says he cannot battle, he cannot do much here other than defend and keep his place. Right now, that would be P5 behind George Russell by over a second, but that would be music to Lando Norris's ears, who is in 6th place in his McLaren and looks to be getting closer and closer. 4 seconds now, the gap between those two. Leclerc, let's go on board. What's going on right now? Yeah, the lack of confidence in the brake pedal gives you no ability to defend. He's gone off a few times. The car seems to go to the right when he brakes or locks up the front left. So it's a tough situation for Leclerc right now. Let's see if there's maybe something that can be done. But I think that's just going to be how the car behaves through the rest of the Grand Prix. So lap 19 as that's past the third waypoint of the season of the race. We're over a third of the race done, and that's Verstappen leading from Perez by 6 seconds. Then it's Carlos Sainz with the fastest lap, followed by Russell, Leclerc, Norris, Piastri, Hamilton, Alonso, and Zhou rounding out the points in P10. Yeah, the Aston Martin Alonso actually seems to be struggling with the car. Behind them, out of the points, we have Tsunoda, Stroll, Magnussen, Albon, Ocon, Ricardo, Hülkenberg, Bottas, Gasly, and Sargent. Congrats, Luis. You were right to move to Ferrari. Someone said there. Um, yeah, let's see what happens there when he can't turn right. A driver who is so well known for accepting slight deficiencies in a car. Okay, that was Ricardo going super wide at the exit of turn 10. Joe dropping fast as PJ Taylor. Well, actually, he's been holding on quite nice to Alonso's slipstream there. It's 1.7 seconds. He's been losing around 6/10 of a second a lap, but he's still holding on strong, and Tsunoda doesn't seem to be getting any closer. So I would say it's a decent run so far from him. Hamilton saying he has no battery. He was complaining about that, but apparently he just used it all. So right now he cannot push because he is charging the battery. Hamilton is going through turn 11 right now. Ocon struggling with understeer. Oh yeah, well, that's no surprise there. JK, who is that? McLarens are in no man's land. Actually, no. They're shrinking the gap to Leclerc. Half a second closer from Norris to Leclerc than it was 2 laps ago. So he's gaining at around 2.5 tenths of a second a lap. I wouldn't say that's too bad actually, since now Leclerc has reached George Russell. And yeah, if he can get that braking sorted, he may be on for a battle and maybe an overtake. We'll see. What's the gap from Alonso to Hamilton? It's 7 seconds. As much as that hurts to say, it's 7 seconds. As Hulkenberg comes in for his second stop of today. Lap 21, it's quite early to get out of a set of hards. Softs were rated for 15 laps, so softs lasting 20 is concerning to say the least. It looks like the has not fixed their tire wear problem. They go for a 17 stop strategy on the hardest compound to make it through the race, and it plummets them down the order. Magnussen still holding on to 13th place though so far, but Hulkenberg's not having a good day. Not having a good day at the office. We're now looking at a Red Bull overtake. That's the Toro Rosso going round the inside of Esteban Ocon. Nice overtake. Nice overtake. Clean one round the inside. 15th place for Ocon. 15th place for Daniel Ricciardo. Pit stop. Yep, everyone's made a stop. The only driver who has done two is Hulkenberg. Perhaps they're saying, well, the undercut worked so good the first time, maybe we're gonna try it the second time. But honestly, yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for the Haas. Perhaps they're just trying to extract the most operating part of the tire to do a hard. So from softs to hards to hards to softs to finish the race, since going full race distance from hards to hards is pretty much impossible there. Zhou and Tsunoda may start to battle shortly. Oh, Gasly with a very slow pit stop there apparently. Zhou's holding on though, he's not, the gap's not shrinking there. You're super quiet mate, speak louder, shout, you need to shout, Perez says on the radio. I didn't hear what happened to Sargent. Looks like he locked up. But I don't know for sure, because a lockup is not something that makes you stop your car. So Zhou is fighting, is keeping his own pace. The one that seems to be in a no man's land is Alonso. 9th place, 9 seconds behind Hamilton, 4 seconds ahead of Zhou. Zhou and Tsunoda, well, Tsunoda's actually closing in around the pace of a 10th a lap, which is not that much. So yeah, that's not enough for a confident overtake, you know? We're gonna have to see them fight for it if he wants to make it done. Zhou, so far, a brilliant race. As I said, that undercut at the start made some great strides for the drivers right there. Zhou, Stroll, Magnussen. So right now, yeah, they're just holding on to those tires, seeing what they can do, and managing the tire wear, pretty much. If they can hold on to those tires, until the next pit stop and hold onto those positions, they would be on for a good result and a good recovery. All those three. Max is now 10 seconds ahead. Yes. So far, it has been shrinking the gap a little bit. I said 2/10 a lap. It's around that still. It was for just over 4 seconds when we first started monitoring. It's now gone down to 2.5. So it is shrinking. It is shrinking. And at this pace, with the lack of defending power from Leclerc, the lack of confidence on those brakes, we may actually see a double overtake happening as we're looking at, is that Albon? That is Albon attacking Kevin Magnussen for 13th place. He's been gaining around 4/10 of a second a lap there. Yeah, battling for 13th place as they go through the end of the second DRS zone into that second sector complex there of turns. RB20 is ridiculously fast. Yeah, Max Verstappen is ridiculously fast. Got to put on my little spit protector on my keyboard. 11 seconds clear now, yeah. It's insane. 25 out of 57 laps have elapsed. Sargent should just retire the car. He's been lapped by the top 8. Yeah, and Alonso's coming up shortly. Tsunoda, though, has shrunk the gap. I've said around the 10th lap. Well, scratch that. It's now 9/10, so it was almost 3/10 in the last lap. As they go to the start-finish line, DRS is open for the Japanese driver. Are we on board with Albon? We may be. But yeah, the move does not seem to be happening on this corner for the Japanese driver Yuki Tsunoda, as Albon does also not manage to get it past Kevin Magnussen on the Haas. Oh, look, a bot. There we go. Hulk is so lonely at the rear. Sargent is lonely at the rear. My seat is broken, says Hamilton. Okay, copy. That's some big problems that Mercedes are having. No battery because of a miscalculation. The seat is now broken. Let's hope it's not giving him discomfort enough to retire the car, or other grievances like scratches or maybe even cuts. Let's hope it's all good. 12 seconds. Holy fuck, it's a second a lap. He's gaining a second a lap on P2. Oh, the Mercedes are also, if it weren't enough, overheating when running in traffic. Alonso gets past Sargent there. And Russell, that's no problem for him as he's in front of Leclerc and with, some 6 seconds of clear air ahead. But Hamilton, he wants to get closer than McLaren's, but it's just overheating too much. Verstappen is gonna gain another second. Verstappen's gonna get another second here. Is it gonna be 13 seconds before the checkered flag? Yes. Yes, it is. It's gonna be over 13 seconds. As Carlos Sainz is slightly gaining on Perez as well, by the way. Looking to get that second place. The Spanish driver right there. He's been so on the pace all weekend long. It's not even funny. And he wholly deserves that. Under 2 seconds the gap between the two now, as we're now once again looking at Albon versus Kevin Magnussen, battling right there for 13th and 14th place, of course. Zhou Guanyu still defending from Yuki Tsunoda. 6/10 of a second split the two as they go through the final DRS section of this track into turn 14 and through 15. Red Bull just unloaded 10 tons of sandbag. Verstappen. He gains a second a lap. It's insane. So the two stop from the soft to the hard. Yeah, so no one's gonna go that route apparently. They're all gonna go soft to hard to soft. We need blue 3, position 4, Albon gets told. None of my dash is working because of this screen. Oh boy. So yeah, Williams finally this year decided to put the screen on the steering wheel, which seems like a pretty, nothing move, but apparently there are some problems with it. They are struggling with, Albon's struggling with the settings because of the screen. Yeah, let's see what actually happens here. I mean, that's a fundamental issue. A lot of fundamental issues cropping up here. Steering wheel, seat, overheating, engine cooling, brakes veering to the right. On board with Hamilton, who went really wide there in turn 10. Yeah, same as Daniel Ricciardo a few laps earlier. Stroll stops for the second time. Let's see, I think he's gonna go for a set of hearts. Yes, the second set of hearts. It's too early. Oh, what I said before of the strategy, I was mistaken. It was they changed the graph from last year. It's not a lap 22. It was 22 laps off that tire. Seems like. So yeah, the drivers who are gonna be stopping shortly are all gonna be putting the hard tire once again. A second set of hearts, which is one of the strategies, that's for sure. While yeah, maybe the faster one could be to stay out a little bit longer and put on a set of softs to the end of the race. But then that will of course mean that we'll have to manage those hards to last a little bit longer than perhaps they're supposed to. Leclerc Team Radio, tire life is longer than expected. So Ferrari were worried about same as last year, about degradation. Last year that was their Achilles heel. They lost to Aston Martin due to high degradation of their tires on the first half of the season pretty much. But they seem to have fixed that issue. Not only that, but their predictions were underestimating the prowess, I'm gonna say, of the tires. They're gonna be able to hold them for much longer than they expected as Zhou comes into the pits from P10, drops down right now. He's gonna go towards the rear of the pack as he fits a new set, I would say, of hearts. Let's see if I was correct. I was. New set of hearts, of course, for Zhou, and 2.7 seconds stop. He comes out behind his teammate, behind Gasly, but ahead of Stroll, which was who he was covering from. And my God, that was close. I mean, Stroll was on a flyer out lap. If he would have stayed Zhou for another lap in, that would have been 10th place for Lance Stroll, I'm pretty sure. He has effectively overtaken Yuki Tsunoda Stroll with that strategy. Let's see though, because Tsunoda is on a different strategy to those. He pitted a little bit later, so he's still got some tire life left. Let's see what he can do with that. But the first opening laps of the hard compound seem to be pretty decent for pretty much every car. I'm actually starting to like the look of the Sauber, says Neko Control. Yeah, oh, Ricardo, a problem with the front axle. Steering feels light and weird when braking. Okay. But as I was saying, yeah, I mean, I was really upset with Sauber until I actually saw the car on track on preseason testing. And once I saw it was glossy, you know, it's a pretty cool car. It's a pretty cool car. The McLaren's not as matte as it was last year. It's more, I would say, of a satin. I would still much prefer a glossy finish. I am a glossy finish guy, you know. But yeah, I think satin is better than matte. Hard tire, pit window, lap 33 to 43. So, okay, we're nearing the pit window for the hard tire runners unless they want to extend. 33 to 43, the longer they can wait that tire window out, the closer they can be to making it through on a set of softs. Bottas is a glossy finish guy. Oh yeah, he is. This isn't going well for Williams, says Dark Meow. Yeah, yeah, it's not really. Williams cannot make the move, the overtake, because they don't have the settings because the steering wheel's working funny. Pretty boring race, no? Says Artificial Origin. Yes, but buckle up because we got 23 and a half more to go. Ocon and Bottas come into the pits. How can I watch F1? Says Delik his with your eyes. Kicksauber will become Audi in 2026. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. But this might not be the most exciting race so far. Well, so far, I mean, it is because it's the first race, so it's the most exciting and the most boring. So you cannot say this is the most boring race we've seen this season because it's the most exciting by definition. Bottas, though, a bit of a problem with the front left tire. I don't know what's going on. A, a very, very slow stop for Bottas, whose race is pretty much over now. Nice stop for Russell. It's a new set of hearts. 2.9 second stop. We're still waiting for Bottas. He's been over a minute now in the pits. Okay, and now he's out. Behind Russell. But a lap behind Russell. Remember the tire nut on Bottas's car who wouldn't come off? That they shaved it off, and the wheel was stuck in the car for like 2 weeks. Well, that almost happened again, as Bottas had a big problem there with his stop. Something with the wheel nut. I'm not really sure what happened there, but it was a minute-long stop with laps here being a minute and a half. That was pretty okay. We're now looking at a replay of what happened with the Sauber of Bottas. Stops, takes the wheels out, puts the new ones in, and the front left was not coming in. I think it was a problem with the wheel nut. Yeah, no. They had to take out the tire and bring in a new one because the nut had stuck to the tire, I think. Or a new nut. I know. They had to bring something new from the pits. Looked like it was a wheel because they took the wheel in, but it wouldn't make much sense. I don't know. All I know is that he's right now behind Hulkenberg, behind Ocon, and behind Gasly, which is pretty much a death sentence right now. Is that Verstappen we're on board with? Yep, that's Verstappen we're on board with, apparently. 17 seconds ahead of his teammate. Wow. I am F1 nut. Is that a Fight Club monologue from one of the organs? Not them lapping Gasly and Ocon. Oh boy, Verstappen's lapped Gasly and Ocon. That's Stroll and Zhou Guanyu. Stroll getting past the Chinese driver up into 13th, which is effectively right now, after the stops have been put in place, P10. Aston Martin's, yeah, I think that's where the Aston Martin is right now, the 5th fastest car. So it's, well, right now you can pretty much look at it. It's Red Bull ahead of Ferrari, ahead of McLaren, which are pretty close to Mercedes. McLaren and Mercedes are really close in performance. Mercedes are having a lot of problems. That may be why they're a little bit behind. Russell, remember, he has made his second stop. None of the rest of the top 10 have. Oh, that's a change as Norris and Hamilton both come into the pits just as I said that. That's Alonso being attacked by Russell. Oh, yep, that's the move done. And Alonso may try to hold on to that DRS for this lap and then perhaps come in. Well, or maybe for as long as he can. I mean, that's a good strategy. 7/10 of a second already the gap between those two, so I don't know how long he's going to be able to hold on to that gap, but let's see. I mean, 1 DRS zone is better than 0. I was talking about the teams, and yeah, I would say then it's Aston Martin, then it's Toro Rosso, then it's Williams, then it's Haas, then it's Sauber, then it's Haas, then it's Alpine. From what we've seen so far from this first race on this very particular cold circuit, might I add. But yeah, we'll see. Ratings are starting to shape up. I usually give it, 3-4 races before we can actually draw a good, solid ranking. But since this is a carryover year from last season, I'm pretty confident to call it a little bit earlier than that. Please explain what int is. That's the interval between the drivers as Leclerc comes in. That's the time between the drivers as Piastri also comes in. Is Alonso coming in as well? He's not. The undercut seems to be pretty powerful, but still Alonso's not coming in. I would assume he's trying to go for the soft for the end of the race, to see if he can scratch a few points from those. Hamilton side by side with the McLaren, who loses its rear. That's Oscar Piastri losing off to Lewis Hamilton. That's Yuki Tsunoda coming into the pits, and yeah, that's Piastri losing down into 9th place as Hamilton with the undercut, yes, makes it past Oscar Piastri. Wax Manus, member for 11 months. Max will be punished by the FIA for flying too low. Yeah, that thing is an absolute rocket ship. 18.5 seconds the gap between himself and his teammate. That's a big ass gap. Thank you for your support. As Carlos Sainz comes in. Good. Easy stop 2.2. Really quick. Yeah, Alonso's kind of holding off Norris and Leclerc now. Yeah, so Leclerc's gonna overtake Alonso before turn 1. I'd say. Yep, fastest lap of the race so far by Lando Norris, who's been following now behind the Aston Martin driver. He's almost a minute ahead of both Ferraris and Mercedes. Yeah, that's because he hasn't stopped for a second time, and they have. So, if you've enjoyed the coverage so far, even though it's not been the most exciting race, if you've enjoyed what we had to say and all that's related to it, make sure to drop us a like. Helps us out, helps the channel, helps the stream. Just takes a second and it's completely free. And yeah, if you want to follow us through the rest of the season, make sure to subscribe as well. We do these watch-alongs every single race weekend. Ricardo takes new softs. So that may be the window. That may be the window for the softs opening up as Max Verstappen, Sergio Perez actually comes in for a new set of softs. That's the softs window opening up. So we may start to see a few drivers coming in and fitting an alternate compound, going for the alternate strategy. Going softs, hards, and softs. Let's see. New fastest lap of the race by that's Charles Leclerc. Oh, Bottas is lapped. I was thoroughly confused looking at the minimap right there. It was like Alonso's being caught by Zhou, and Hamilton has to overtake. No, it's a lapped car. Albon comes into the pits. How many laps are there? 57. We're 37 laps through. We got 20 to go. Albon into the pits. So is Verstappen. Let's see. Comes in. Softs for the race leader, for the champ, for Max Verstappen. Alonso saved the set from qualifying as well, so I reckon he can put those on. Remember when he didn't come out yesterday at the start of Q3 and I was like, what? Well, this was why. This was why. Ricardo gets overtaken by... Or overtakes. Ricardo overtakes Alex Albon up into 15th. At least no one crashed out. I mean, I wouldn't have complained. I wouldn't have complained. Max is scary fast. 17 seconds in the lead from his teammate. Pretty big. Pretty big. No one's come in for the softs other than those three that we've called so far. Perez, Verstappen, and Ricardo. So all Red Bull cars. Magnussen gets past his teammate Nico Hülkenberg. How much time left in the ending? How much to the end of the race, you mean? Probably a little bit less than half an hour. Then I gotta watch the end of the WEC. DRS open for Hamilton as he gets past Alonso. A lot of overtakes happening on the Aston Martin there. Oh yeah, the WEC. Yeah. The balance of power has really screwed with the WEC. I mean, it's It's way too radical. We've seen a Peugeot lead this race, the Qatar race. It's way too much, you know. What's next? What's next? Banwall coming in and winning because everyone gets more ballast. What's the new one? Isota Fraschini? They wanted Toyota to lose so bad. Yeah, yeah, I know. They really screw with them. I just want to get the 24 hours of Le Mans. That's gonna be insane this season. Max Verstappen gets the new fastest lap of the race. But yeah, the 24 hours of Le Mans this year are just gonna be out of this world. 19, well, actually more, because Cadillac are getting 2 extra cars, and who knows about the rest? Maybe Porsche are getting 1 extra car like they did last year. So we may get upwards of 25 cars racing for the victory at Le Mans. That is gonna be legendary. Boring race. What, Le Mans? No, it's not. This? Oh yeah, yeah, sure. Um, Alonso's gonna get overtaken by another McLaren now. A bit painful to watch, actually. 132 pace. Yeah, 132.608. That's a lot. That's a lot. Oh, I'm on top chat. I need to go to live chat. There we go. Okay. There's no way Ricardo will replace Perez's Oliver Dots. Well, it's a long season. A lot of stuff is yet to be decided, you know? A lot of stuff still has to happen. Hamilton Team Radio, these guys are fast, mate. Yep. Yes, they are. Let's roll, team. it's it's two Mercedes sandwich, one with a Ferrari bread and one with McLaren bread. You can choose whichever you want. They're both healthily enough. None of them are high on sugar or have overly processed flours. Okay. Science do something. Yeah, the gap is not extending anymore. 3 seconds and it's been stuck. I'll take McLaren bread. Hell yeah. McLaren bread is. Actually, I mean, I would personally take Ferrari bread. It may give me diarrhea because Ferrari always mess something up, but it's Italian, which is presumably a little bit tastier than British. Both sandwiches are very high in iron. Yeah, and in carbon fiber. One of them has less paint than the other, so if you're paint intolerant, I would go for the McLaren sandwich. What are we talking about right now? Come on. 15 seconds the gap between P1 and P2. 15 laps to go. Yes, 15 laps to go. Alonso's fitting hards? Really? All he did? And not even putting him a set of softs? Call me call me offended. Call me offended and you'd be right. Well, they went for the new hards there. Alonso comes out behind Zhou Guanyu as well, so he lost track position and is out of the points, also behind his teammate. Let's see. Perhaps he's got more pace. He should have more pace. Fresher tires. Zhou's tires are already 13 lap old. Stroll's are 14 laps old. Yeah. Let's see. He may be the last of these stoppers. He is. He is the last of the stoppers. Let's see what happens. Sargent takes new softs. Yes, he seems to. Yeah, Hulkenberg as well. Yeah, the guys who didn't make it through to Q3 have a few extra sets. Or Q2 even. Oh, Hulkenberg did make it through to Q3. This might be a close race. Oh, never mind. Why were you even excited in the first place? It's a 16-second gap. Gonna be playing Red Dead Redemption 2 after this. I got a Steam Deck, and I've been doing a lot of gaming this past few months. A lot of gaming. I've been doing through more games than I've done, I would say, in the previous 5 to 10 years altogether. It's been a lot of fun. I'm going through Red Dead Redemption 2 right now. Pretty fun. I've never played a game like that one. Such slow paced, you know. But yeah, having a good time. Having a good time. Okay. What games do you play? I usually like playing indie games. First, it was because my computer does not, handle better games. But actually, I now that I can, I genuinely do prefer the quirks and complications and newness of indie games. They're all unique, you know. So recommendation of the day: check out Superliminal on Steam. That's I would say one of my favorite games of all time. Okay, go back to the racing. Um, yeah, Verstappen still holds the fastest lap of the race. That's that's Leclerc, sorry, getting close to Russell. Maybe uncomfortably so. Leclerc seems to have gained some confidence in those brakes. Science Radio, when do we expect the hard tire to be quicker than the soft? I'll come back to you. We are checking. Carlos Sainz is asking that question as Leclerc is getting closer to Russell. High in iron, but even higher in fiber. Nice, nice. Back to racing or to gaming? No, no, no. Back to racing. Back to racing. Let's see. Alonso now getting close to Zhou's Sauber into turn one. It's enough to make a move, but I would reckon it would be going into turn four. Around this lap, the hard should be faster than the soft. Carlos Sainz gets told. Why? Because Perez is in the softs up ahead. Alonso gets into 10th place, and his teammate is up next. The gap between those two right now is 5.2 seconds. Let's see how it shrinks in the upcoming laps. We got 12 laps remaining. Bet you could buy a Ferrari sandwich somewhere. Well, should I do this? No, it's way too much. I've got a few Ferrari cars here. I was about to make a sandwich, but it requires too much attention. I don't want to. Driver of the day is Perez for sure. Yeah, sure, buddy. Leclerc is chasing Russell for fourth. Alonso's gap to Stroll has gotten bigger. It was 3 and now it's 4.5. How? Was it 3 or was it 5? I thought I said 3. Still, it's no, it was 5.3. Oh, it was 5.3, so it's already gone down by 1 second. Okay, well that's good. Italian food is good, so I like an Italian sandwich, says RS. Yeah. Italian sandwich is good. I'm in the mood for some Subway now. Okay, Carlos Sainz with the RS on. Oh, that's Leclerc with the RS on George Russell. Still 0.3 of a second between those two right now. Yeah, I might get some Subway. So, yeah, right now, let's do a bit of a recap. Verstappen leading from Perez with Sainz closing off the podium. Russell and Leclerc may be in for a switch, but right now, that's the order that we have for fourth and fifth place. Then it's Norris, Hamilton, Piastri, Stroll, Alonso, Zhou, Magnussen, Tsunoda, Ricardo, Albon, Ocon, Hulkenberg, Gasly, Bottas, and Sargent. That's a running order so far. Alonso's now 2 seconds. 2.9 actually, 3 seconds. The gap to Stroll. So yeah, it's shrinking and it's shrinking fast. And the gap between Stroll and Piastri is just, I mean, it's 25 seconds. It's a whole pit stop. How is Stroll above Fernando? Undercut. The undercut. That's how. All I see signs. All I see. Oh, whoa, whoa, going really wide. Russell there on 11. Is he gonna have to give that position? Leclerc still, I think, is gonna be able to get it done. DRS open and he's up into fourth place. That's a good move by Leclerc, taking full advantage of George Russell's going wideness in on the outside of turn 10. That's the third driver to do that this race. Yeah, fourth driver. Does Sainz have to pit again? No, no one has to pit again, I would say, other than maybe Zhou. I don't know if he's gonna make it to the end. But other than that, perhaps Ocon. But no one cares about that. And yeah, I would say the rest can limp it. Biscuit to the end. Oh, and also Stroll. Yeah, Stroll's gonna be able to. Stroll's gonna have to push it. Alonso 1.6 to Stroll. Yeah, Stroll's gonna be in trouble. He stopped way too early. Way too early. He's gonna struggle towards the latter end of the race. He's gonna not defend, I'm gonna say. Not defend that position at all. If he does, I'll be greatly surprised. And I think the move's gonna happen right now. They're going through 2, through 3, and I think before 4. That's another boy band name. We're gonna get a switch in positions or not? No, surprisingly not. Okay. What ingredients does a Ferrari sandwich have? It's very salty because there's a lot of tears involved in making a Ferrari sandwich. It has a bit of you just gotta shatter some hopes and dreams, put them on the top, get some spicy strategy, and a sprinkle of well, it's a checkered pattern because they are checking. That's a checkered pattern on the bread. Okay. Yeah, Stroll and Alonso still battling it out there. Maranello sauce. Ah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, there's also a British sandwich between a Mercedes with Norris filling. Add Hamilton to the sandwich. Oh yeah, from next year you can order your sandwich with extra ham. Vegan ham, that is. And that's Alonso, I think, gonna be making the move on Stroll into 1. Yep, up into P9. At least they're both in the points. You know? The ingredients are wild, yeah. Having the imagination flow here. What happened to Alonso? Aston Martin happened to Alonso. Back in the 90s, a Ferrari sandwich had pieces of kraut. Well, um, it was the best sandwich at the start of the 2000s. Maybe they should bring that ingredient back, you know? They tried it in in the late 2010s. But you know, they just didn't finish making it. Kimi, you know? Oh god, this is so bad. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, there's not much going on that I can commentate on. The gaps have gone up between everyone. Tsunoda's close to Magnussen, but that's the only gap under a second now. Mika Salo could actually finish that sandwich. Okay, I'm sorry. Um, yeah, Aston Martins are both in the points. I mean, that's decent. That's at least, you know, better than what other five teams can say. Stroll, though, we're gonna watch out for those tires. But Zhou is in a pretty similar predicament. Driver of the day for me, it's Carlos Sainz, no doubt. Driver of the weekend. Ferrari V10 sauce definitely sounds delicious. Well, do you know the V8, the drink? Add two more vegetables, that's V10. Yeah, was a bestseller for a while. Won a lot of trophies, that sauce. Between Verstappen and Perez is so big, I'm calling that one a nothing sandwich. Talking about sandwiches so much today. I'm so sorry, guys. We're not usually like this. We're just trying to, you know, kill the time with when there's not a lot of excitement going on in the track. Tsunoda and Ricardo are pretty close, the Toro Rossos, and well, actually to Magnussen as well. So yeah, the Toro Rossos and the Magnussen are battling it out. Blood's hungry. Yeah, and I even had lunch before this. But I had rice. And I get bored of eating rice. I feel like I digest it too easily. Okay, Hulkenberg is past Esteban Ocon. Ocon drops down to 17th place, and that's the Alpines almost at the back. They still have Bottas and Sargent. Bottas, who had a minute long stop, and Sargent, who screwed it up from the beginning. Mercedes sauce is more salty. Yeah, but it's different kind of salt. It's not like the Ferrari tier salt. No Dutch sandwich? Yeah, but the Dutch sandwich is it's an open sandwich because it just needs one piece of bread. You know, it doesn't come with two. It's not needed. The other piece is usually moldy by the time you put it on top. Remember, we were talking about flavors, taste of Pirelli tires. I don't remember what race it was. My god, the things that we have done on this channel, the things that we have talked about on occasion here, it's pure insanity, and I would say it's the best kind of insanity. It's F1 passioned insanity with a lot of inside jokes and requires a lot of thinking. So it's for very high IQ people, you know? Oh. Turning off the AC. Forgot it was even on. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Magnussen, Tsunoda, Ricardo still through battling for P12. That's an interesting battle because Ricardo is on soft tires, almost as old as Yuki Tsunoda's. Driver swap, Tsunoda's been ordered. Are you kidding me? Now? Is Yuki's got fresher tires, well, older tires by one lap, but the softs are disintegrating. I would guess by now. Okay. DRS open for both of the Toro Rossos. Not enough. And I would reckon now the driver swap is gonna be happening. If it does at all. Ricardo, team radio, yeah, I don't need to say anything. Yeah. Yuki did not swap. Oh, there he let him through. He let him through. Okay. Yep. Driver swap has just happened. Yuki wanted to have one last go, and then he let him through. Yellow flag, blue flags now for the three of them as Max Verstappen is coming through. 20 seconds to Perez. Fuck. You knew he must go to Mercedes. Why? We have a great car. We closed the gap to Red Bull. Only 50 seconds. That's a big gap. Well, 41 seconds for Russell. 42 almost. Yeah, but 47 seconds for Hamilton. Damn. Damn. Well, Ocon's fighting with Perez. Yeah, the Alpines, Ocon and Perez, have a long history of fighting together. It's a blue flag. Oh, Ocon is being lapped by. Oh, okay, Ocon is in 17th place, being lapped by Perez. Okay, good to know. Tsunoda, yeah, guys, I appreciate it. Okay. 2 laps to go. Lap 54 or 57? Well, three. 3 laps to go. Usually it takes a couple races before the season is over, but the season is over. Yeah, Jeremy, the season is over. Sergeant 2L? Yeah, he's 2 laps behind. And he's also got a 2-liter engine. Ryan, what would your opinion if F1 decides to use a balance of power like WEC? No. No. They've already got the sliding scale system for aerodynamic purposes. That's enough. The balance of power is insane. The Toyotas, I think, are running now with 30 extra kilos of weight. It should cap at a percentage, like, say, I don't know, to say a number, 5%. So you can add up to the FIA can decide to add up to 5% of weight to the car, and that's it. I mean, if it's still the fastest car, it's still the fastest car, but just because they made the fastest car out of anyone doesn't mean that they have to be punished enough to be thrown back into like P7. Why? Because they made a faster car? That's why they can't win? Makes absolutely no sense. That's what's happening with Toyota right now. And Ferrari, this is the first race of the season, and Ferrari's already lodged a complaint. Well, not lodged, but they've openly complained. And I wouldn't be surprised if they get a few more teams. Well, Toyota is a surefire team to sign that. But yeah, the Toyota and the Ferrari seem to be a bit of a step ahead. Perhaps they can even get Porsche and all the Porsche customer teams. And if they can get those, That's almost half the grid. They can, I would say, do something about it. Elevate the whatever. Lap Carlos Sainz out of 57. Tsunoda Team Radio, he's got to speed up, man. Loud and clear, Yuki, just do your best. He's not fast at all, he says. We're looking at it. Hi, Raul. How are you? I'm not gonna read your message out loud for reasons. Max has literally lapped half the grid. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. He has. Well, Max will win again. Where is Hamilton's SL Wax Manus? Thank you so much for the donation. Hamilton's right now in P7. Yeah, Verstappen's just absolutely unstoppable right now. 21 seconds, I think, is gonna be in a few seconds the gap between P1 and P2. So, Favorite team? Mine is Stake F1 Team Kick Sauber. Such a ridiculous name, my god. Hey, thanks for the excellent commentary. Thank you so much, Jose, for the compliment. Really appreciated. As we're nearing the end of the first Grand Prix of 2023. This is going to be a record-breaking 24 wins in a row for Max Verstappen at the end of this season. Already calling it. Yeah, one lap to go very shortly as Verstappen comes through the third and final sector. Some foot swelling. I've had it for like 2 weeks and it's concerning now. It hasn't gone away. Oh, if it was an actual question about my favorite team, I actually don't have one. I don't have a favorite team. I don't. I have drivers that I like more, that I like less, but I only have teams that I feel okay about and that I dislike. There's one team that I dislike, and you guys know who it is. Paula, thank you so much for everything, for sticking around, for coming here. It is really greatly appreciated. Okay, lap 57 of 57. This is the final lap that we're going through right now. That's the rear of the car stepping out for Ricciardo as he was looking to perhaps make a move on Magnussen, who's closing the race in P12. The Hasses have got some pace. That's really good to see. That's really good to see. If only Hülkenberg hadn't been caught in the damage, if only he hadn't like spun Stroll around, it would have been really good. Oh, welcome to the channel, Meiki Langelar. Thank you. That's a beautiful name. Verstappen through the final corner, across the line to win the Bahrain Grand Prix, starting the year off strong. It's a fastest lap as well. It's maximum points for the Dutch driver, for the current reigning champion. Max Verstappen wins the Bahrain Grand Prix ahead of Sergio Perez and Carlos Sainz. Then we got Charles Leclerc in 4th place ahead of George Russell. It's gonna be Lando Norris, then Lewis Hamilton, then Piastri, and then Alonso and Stroll to round off the points. Yento, winner is Max Verstappen. It is Yento. Thank you so much for becoming a member. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this weekend. And it's Joe, Magnussen, Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Albon, Hülkenberg, Ocon, Gasly, Bottas, and Sargent to finish off the race. So that's the first race weekend. And I think we're going to have to get used to seeing this a little bit more. Thank you so much for watching. It was a race. That for sure was a race. Make sure to leave a like if you've enjoyed the coverage. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. You know, if you want to leave a donation, you're free to do so. I was gonna say subscribe to my channel, but there's no point in that anymore, so I'm not gonna say that, but if you want to, you can check it out. There's a big catalog of content on all current, historic F1, everything, all there. And yeah, I'll see you all next week. Friday qualifying. Don't forget, Friday qualifying next week, same as today. Well, same as this weekend, actually. And yeah, that's gonna be it for me for today. Thank you so much, Jose. Thank you so much, Paula. Thank you so much, Dark Meow. Thank you, Sparky. Thank you, David Smith, for subscribing. It's played to the attempt to play the Dutch national anthem. Yes, it is. Till the next weekend. Thank you, Zachary. See you.